So it is going to start the right meeting, or is it just general? Okay, gotcha. Yep. Okay. Okay. I am. Okay, sounds good. Bye. Good morning.
Good morning.
Looks like we have Jeff in here, but I don't see him. Okay. Well, I see you. Is it Rochelle or Rachel?
It's Rochelle. Thank you.
Okay. I do like to start on time, but I have to let participants in. Okay. Let's see. Rochelle, how many were you on did you do the first session of training?
I did.
How many people were on there?
There were probably around maybe 6 or 7 possibly. And I think on the attendee, there were the same people that said they were coming. So
okay, yeah, I saw that.
1, 2, yeah, maybe, I mean, okay, 5 or 6 people plus Lisa and.
Okay. I admitted another one. I have to pay attention on the right side to make sure I have everyone here. Okay. Amy, are you there?
I certainly am.
Okay.
No makeup today, so.
Okay. Are you there, Jeff? Jeff? He needs to.
He's on mute.
Unmute. Yeah.
Let's see. There he is.
What are you doing? Is my microphone working today?
It is now. I showed that you were muted.
Okay.
Amy, can you see?
Yes.
Can you see us?
Yep, I can see you guys.
Oh, okay. So it shows that your video is off.
Huh.
Yeah. I have no makeup on.
Oh, please. Oh, please. Show us your face.
No.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna, full disclosure, I've only done like 3 of these Zoom meetings, so I kind of fumble around when it comes to sharing my screen, okay? So bear with me on that. And then I have to look to the right to make sure that I admit people. So I want to get started. It is 9:04. And how long did your session last on Monday?
I think it was around the 2-hour mark, maybe just shy of it. Like
okay, good.
Hour 45, hour 40.
Okay. The class is meant to go for 3 hours, so we will clip through the information because Lisa will be getting on. How come I have that glare? 1 second. Yeah, a little better. Welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm on my last day of 14-day, what do they call it? Quarantine?
Oh, really? Did you have it?
No, but my
That's
brother-in-law did. They tested me a week ago. They said, well, just take it easy for the next week. No, I'm fine.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I haven't been sick for years.
Okay, I know. I knock on wood. I haven't been sick for 5 years.
Really?
I am blessed.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
Totally, because it's not like I eat right or take my vitamins,
You try not to be healthy, but yeah, you turn out to
I
be healthy.
know, I never get a break.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I like to start on time. There's 4 of us, including me, in here now. And what I'd like you to do is, so I get to know you better, if you can tell me a little bit about your background, why you got into real estate, and how long you've been in real estate. Okay? So your background, why you got into it, and see, look at, I already forgot the last one. So why don't we start with you, Rochelle?
Great. My name is Rochelle. I am originally from Hawaii, moved to Seattle. I've been in Minnesota only 7 years. I live in the Twin Cities South Metro area. That's kind of
okay.
I've been in real estate officially with my license for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You heard right.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. I've always just been interested in real estate. I'm the one who's like always looking at houses. I stop in at open houses sometimes just because I don't know. I love looking at houses, and so I figured I'm on leave from my primary job as a flight attendant at Delta. So while I've been out, I figured why not jump and see, if I can make it go in real estate. So it's kind of the short version.
Okay. Well, thank you. And Jeff, you've been in real estate for a little while.
What, this time 5 years, I guess, something like that, this time. And I was in real estate before with Juicin down in Wabasha. During the crash of 2000, whatever, 8, 9, 10, whatever that was, when all the foreclosures came up. But I was actually in the hotel business for 40 some years. I know I don't look that old, but yeah, right. But started working with my partner, my old buddy, John Cravath. I came back to Minnesota from Texas, and he said he had a project going, so we connected, and in 2016 started with real estate again. Started building, and if you're familiar with Rochester, we built all the townhomes up on Superior Ridge. We're going to be building 140 down in the valley this summer. Not this summer, but start them this summer, and over the next probably 8 to 10 years, build about 140 there west of Superior Ridge in Rochester. So married, 2 boys, both gone, one in Washington and one in Oregon. So that does it for me, I think.
Okay. And how long have you been at Keller Williams?
January. I'm kind of doing a hiatus over the winter months and getting ready to kick it in the spring. So it's worked out really well.
So you said that project is now going to start in the summertime?
As soon as the weather's nice, we'll get the roads and driveways in and whatever, and get the plats all figured out, and then probably by April, May, probably start digging the first one.
Okay.
Or the first probably 4. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I know this is kind of off topic a little bit, but I think this is really good for the agents on here.
Yeah.
To learn more about that project, because they may have buyers for that particular project, and it's good for them to get the inside information now.
Inside information. Well, like I said, I'll be sending out a map of everything probably to all the agents in terms of the project itself. But we'll be kicking it in. It's going to be townhomes. All of them will be attached to attached townhomes. There'll be about 70 of those. There'll be a combination of walkouts with, you know, townhomes with walkout basements. Some of those will have lookout basements rather than walkouts. Others will be slab on grade, and the rest will be slab on grade with a second floor. So about anywhere from 1,800 square feet for the slab on grades to probably 3,500 square feet for the two level, whether they're basements or whether they're second floor. But it'll kick in pretty good. We're probably going to build, probably 20 to 30 this year, maybe, or between this year and next year. But first one will be available to move into probably in October, November, December, depending on what's going on. So they'll be priced. They'll be priced in the high threes to the mid fours. So a slab on grade will probably be anywhere from $395 to $425, and depending on what they get in them. And the two levels, depending on if they finish the basement, will be about that same price. If they finish the basement, you're talking another $40,000 or $50,000 on top of the base price. So be high quality. And I'm probably going to do an open house here in this townhome because I do live in one of our townhomes. I did buy one of our townhomes, so I'm actually a customer also. No, but
that's always good to know.
House. What's that?
I said that's good to know that you live in one of them.
Oh yeah. And I found out all the little things that we do wrong, but there's not a little. There's only little things. So
very tiny.
Yeah, so I'll probably do an open house here in Byron. I live actually in one of the ones in Byron. I bought the one in Byron, and I'll probably do an open house here sometime in April or May.
Okay,
just to
awesome.
Get everybody a feel of the quality and whatever.
Okay, just so you know, Jeff, you have plenty of people that are willing to do open houses if you decide to take some time off. So, Rachel,
I do that quite often.
Okay. Rachel looks like she's going for a walk.
Yes, I'm taking my dog on a walk. We've been a terrible, neglectful owner and not taking him on his morning walk for a few days. So trying to get that done before this started, but unfortunately he wants to smell everything. So, you know.
Of course. A multitasker, I like that.
Or just real life, honestly.
Well, if you can do us a favor, if you can just tell us a little bit about you and your background and how long you've been in real estate.
Sure. I was licensed in January. I took my test in December. Been with Keller. I've just signed on with Keller Williams maybe a month ago.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Come from theater, musical theater, and so artistic in nature, and traveled a bunch, sort of, and now I'm trying to actually get a career going for the first time ever because I'm tired of being poor. So hey, real life.
So why real estate versus any other profession?
It's kind of been on my mind. My dad went out in real estate, maybe didn't do so well, but like the concept of doing real estate and how that can build wealth has been on my mind for many years. And I was watching Good Bones and I kind of liked the idea of what they were doing.
Okay.
Flipping homes and things, and then the interior design and that kind of stuff. So I thought about it, and I can't just start as a stager, say, hey, I'm a stager. I have no experience and no credentials. Come, let me stage your house for you. So instead I was like, no, I'll go in and actually get a foundation of knowledge and get some know-how and people stuff figured out and do the real estate side. And yeah, so eventually maybe I'd like to get into investments and things, but yeah, like I said, it's basically my first month in. So
it's good to have vision.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of my story. I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy, who's hiding?
Trust me, you don't want to see me this morning.
I doubt it.
It was a crazy busy day yesterday, and I vowed that I would just take it easy kind of this morning and not worry about getting my face on. My hair is not even combed. We won't go into great detail, but yeah. So anyway, so a little bit about me. I am from northern Minnesota. Way up on the Iron Range is where I grew up and graduated from. And then after graduation, I moved down to this area because, well, I thought these were mountains. They're bluffs, but they're mountains and it's gorgeous. And I always did some type of bartending or waitressing. And then I also had a long time career at Sprint. And then with the T-Mobile merger, they did close down our entire site. So I had to figure out what I wanted to do. And it just kind of was suggested to me to try this. So I'm doing it now, which is pretty cool and amazing to me. In November, I received my Wisconsin license. And then in January, I received my Minnesota license.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's been pretty good lately. I sold a home, listed and sold a home, and
Awesome.
I have 2 active transactions right now for buyers that are
Great.
just finishing up on the contingency. So it's pretty exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, I did a little research on when I was looking at doing real estate, and Keller Williams has not disappointed. Like just from the get-go, like the training, the direction, there's a lot. There's a lot
to learn.
And I will say it gets completely overwhelming. So Rachel, I don't know how far along you guys are, but you will be probably warned, like I was, you will get overwhelmed and it's okay. Just keep moving forward. And I don't know it all. I have very good support in my office that with the group that I work with my transactions, and they have something set up to help you with that as well, which is great. And all I'm doing is I'm faking it till I make it.
Yep.
And it's working. And
What group are you with?
I primarily work out of the Winona office.
Okay, great.
And they are a really great team.
There.
Yes.
Oh, yes. They are. And they're close, and they have a lot of positive energy, which.
Oh, they just are awesome to work with. I can't even say enough. I can pick up the phone and call them. We have a group text message that goes on with questions throughout. Anytime we have a question. Yeah, it's great. I'm learning all about wells and septics.
Oh, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeff, it's a little bit like I haven't been in the Rochester area a whole heck of a lot, but I would love to do an open house. So if you need that, please let me know.
All righty.
While we're talking about that, Jeff and Cravath Homes, I have had experience selling their homes for the last, even before Jeff got there. And they are my favorite builder. And there's a lot of builders in Rochester. They're very high quality. And what makes them even better is they have very, very good follow-up. And that is the mark of a good builder. So again, Jeff, I can't stress enough that you have a lot of people that are here to support you with open houses or anything else, really.
All right.
Okay, now we have, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Komapish? Are they on? Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, there you are.
Can you hear me? Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, it's Coma Pick and people call me Pick. Sorry, I'm just taking all my kids to school, so you don't want to see the inside of my car or anything, I'm sure. I am also in the same boat as Rachel. I started about a month ago. I have no background in real estate, and yeah, I'm just really excited to get going and see how it goes. I've been in the restaurant industry most of my life, and stay-at-home mom. I have a degree in communications, and I just wanted to apply that degree towards something that I love and will hopefully enjoy. And I'm pretty sure I will, and just get out in the workforce and do something for myself for a change.
Great. And, you know, those of you coming from the service business, it's going to really help you and catapult your career because it is all about customer service. And I can't stress that enough. I've been doing this 18 years. I'm going on my 18th year. And I just did family reunion. And you'll learn something every day. I learned even more techniques that I could use to wow my clients. So I can share those with you. If you ever want to text me, call me, feel free to do so. Lisa, how can they get in touch with me? Can I just put it in the chat box or?
So during the session, Lori, are you asking?
No, afterward.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the chat box works during the session. Otherwise, I mean, just maybe you putting in the chat your email and phone number so that they have your contact info.
Okay. I'm typing it in now. Not that fast. Okay.
Lori's in the office a lot too. So if you are in the Rochester office, chances are she's probably here. So
I'm here. Okay. Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, put me on the spot. Okay. So I have been in real estate for about 18 years. It's really all that I've done. I started out at Coldwell Banker and I was there for about 16 years. I've always been on the administrative side or the managerial side of things. That's just really where my passion is. I'm a problem fixer. I love to help new agents get acquainted with all the new, systems and tools and resources that they have at their disposal. So I left Coldwell Banker when my main broker retired. The business was sold and things were mixed up quite a bit. And so it wasn't the right fit for me anymore. I found myself actually in touch with Erin. She reached out to me and in a way did what she does best, which was recruit me over to Keller Williams. So I've been here for it'll be 2 years in July. And I just love it. I love the culture. I love all of the training. I mean, that's huge for somebody in my position when the agents are looking for that training and looking for those tools and resources and looking for, a support line that actually, answers your questions. It's super helpful for me because it doesn't allow for frustration on the agent's part most of the time. Obviously we're going to have some bugs, but yeah. So most of you know who I am. Most of you, we've had several interactions already. And so you know that if you have any question on anything as far as onboarding or the technology, you can always reach out to me. Don't hesitate to reach out. That's what I'm here for. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Personally, I am married with 2 beautiful children. My daughter Kendall is 12. My son Logan is 9. We have a dog, a 9-month-old black lab. Her name is Lucy. So yeah, when I'm not working, I just try to spend as much time with my family. That's my true other passion. So.
And she's a nester. And if anyone needs a zipper replaced, or she sews as well. And I would give you my winter jacket to do the zipper, but I need the winter jacket still.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot of time for that, but I did do some knitting. I am finishing a knitting project right now.
Okay. Well, thank you. And secret, Lisa's phenomenal at technology, particularly command. And she told us that, but she's top notch. The thing that I love about Lisa too, I actually worked with her at Coldwell Banker at your service. I think we were probably there the same amount of time, weren't we? I was only there a year.
Oh, I mean, no, I was there for 16 years.
I think I was there for one of them.
You got your start there. Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it was longer. I feel like we got to know each other pretty well. I feel like it was longer, but.
Okay. So my background, I won't bore you. I am from the Chicago area originally, and I hate the cold, really hate the cold. So I lived in LA at the beach for 15 years and had a great time there. I'm actually from corporate America. I worked for Honeywell for over 10 years, and I was in sales and marketing there. And then I did a stint in Singapore for a year, and I helped merge a couple companies and did some sales and marketing there. And I was there during 9/11, so that was quite an interesting stint. So I decided to move to Rochester. My sister's been here, I guess over 35 years. And my parents then moved here. And my dad, his health was ailing. And well, I was approaching that 40 mark. And I said, well, when it comes down to it, it's just all about family. So when I got here, I didn't know what to do. And I'd always thought about real estate. So I jumped into it head first, and here I am almost 18 years into it. So I am glad you are all in this training. As you know, we only are required to do 15 hours a year, and I easily do over 200. And I encourage you to do that. And by the way, your clients are really impressed with that. So when you do presentations, make sure you tell them that, because as you now know, even though you haven't been here that long, Keller Williams offers a lot of training. So you will be head and shoulders above any other agent that starts in this business at another company the same time you did. So without further ado, any questions at all? Okay, this is on lead generation. I do a lot of lead generation, so I'll even give you some of my personal experiences as we go through. So I'm going to attempt to put the PowerPoint on and share my screen. Let's see, I better share my screen first. Okay. Those of you that took the first class, how did that go? How did your homework go? I know we overwhelm you with just a lot of information at a time. So I want to make sure that we work at the pace that, since you've got so many things thrown at you, that that would work for you. So as I go through, if you think I am moving too fast, let me know. And Lisa is, as I said, the techie person. So partially into this, she's going to go into command, and she's going to show us how to enter our contacts if you have not figured that out yet, and how to filter and how to tag them. And you don't know what I'm talking about at all, but you will after she helps us out. Fair enough? Okay, this is the goal, okay? The goal of lead generation and of Spark is to get your first appointment within 2 weeks and set them up for signing in your first 30 days under contract. And it sounds like some of you have already done that. So congratulations, you are so far ahead of the rest of the pack. So we're going to talk about what it takes to lead generate, the types of lead generating you can do, and we'll keep going. Okay, so it's not a secret what successful agents do every day. Okay. We have two sections. We have grow your business and run your business. What are some of you doing right now to lead generate? And lead generate, Keller Williams has so many different terms for everything. That's hunting for buyers and sellers. Rachel, since you're drinking something and you can't talk, I'm going to pick on you.
No, that's fine.
So tell me some of the things that you've done so far.
So far, I have been getting back in touch with people I haven't talked to in a really long time, mostly via Facebook Messenger at this point. Just kind of establishing a, hey, I still exist, how are you, kind of relationship. And that's really been the most of it. I have my first open house this weekend, so that's really exciting.
Good for you. Anyone else want to contribute? What you been doing?
One of the big things I've been doing lately, and it hasn't generated anything yet, but I'm just new at doing this. I have been sending text messages to, I started with the letter A in the alphabet, to all of my contacts with my contact card. So I created a contact card in my iPhone with my name, my picture, what my job title is, email address, website, and all that stuff. And I send that to them, and I snoop in on their Facebook account and see something that I can find that's personable. Like, oh, I saw a picture of your grandbaby. She's just adorable, and whatever, suck up to them a little bit, of course. And then I'll say, here's my contact card. I just wanted to make sure you have my updated job status and contact information, because most of them knew me as, I worked at Sprint. So,
okay.
And getting some good responses from people, like, oh, I'll definitely recommend you, or just nothing at all. But that's what I've been doing lately.
Now, you said that when you're getting them your contact information, are you doing that through private message on Facebook, or did you say you're texting that information?
Text messaging.
Okay.
So because I kind of feel fortunate. When I worked for Sprint for 28 years, I was a team lead for lots of different people, and it changed up quite a bit. So I have literally more than 700 telephone numbers in my phone book. So,
wow.
And I'm one of these people that don't delete anything. Like, I have found now I've got numbers of people that these numbers no longer exist. Not very few, but so yeah, I've been fortunate with the amount of numbers and contacts that I have of people that used to report to me at one point or another.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is, when I started in real estate, I knew no one here.
Yeah, that would be hard.
So all my phone numbers were California and my family.
Oh,
so
gosh.
I did 6 open houses a weekend for 8 years. And that's who my friends and clients are. So you got a big advantage over a lot of people with that kind of database. Because you can expect, once you get rolling and you're talking to people more, engaging with them, 80% of your business should come from your database.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, so, and I can give you all kinds of ideas, especially since I go to so much training on ways to communicate with them. Because you're always offering something of value, you're always giving, okay? And while we're talking about this, I want all of you to keep in your head, we don't sell, we help. So you're always helping somebody. So even when you're talking to people on the outside, if they ask you what you're doing, you say, I'm helping people achieve their dream. I'm not selling them a house, I'm helping people. And that really took me a while to, for it to sink in. And once it did, you really approach the business differently. So back to grow your business. Lead generate for buyers and sellers. The goal is to do a lot of seller listing presentations and get listings. And listings is what it's all about, okay? Listings give you leverage. The reason why is listings don't take as long. As you know, those of you that have worked with buyers, they take a long time. They're very labor hourly intensive. And in this market it is insane because you write a lot of purchase agreements. So that's a good thing because you really learn how to write purchase agreements fast. But the other reason you want listings is it leverages you to get buyers. Okay, you should be able to pick up 1.5 buyers. I don't know how they figure a half, but that's what I've always heard from every listing that you've had. So open houses, good way to get it. And previewing real estate. So that's part of growing your business. Once you start getting in the business, then it's called run your business. Okay, that's the fun part. I mean, that's the part I really love. And I have to tell you, you know, lead gen is, it's the most, it's, as they say, it's simple, but it's not easy. Okay, but that's where it all starts. So then you get to the fun part, you know, you show houses to real people instead of just previewing them on your own. Then you learn how to negotiate the contracts and feel free to reach out to anyone. I have to tell you, although I've been doing this almost 18 years, or I'm in my 18th year, I still ask people all the time, how do I write this into the contract? Have you had this situation come up? How should I word it? And we all have great clients, and then we have some that are more difficult. And, you know, don't try to go it on your own. Really ask for help. And I'm always, most time I'm available. I'll get back to you within, 4+ hours, 4 to 24 hours. Okay. And we talk about setting goals. So you need to know where you're going in order to get there. And I congratulate all of you because you are attending training. And the big part is managing the money because you never want to go in the hole. The mistake that all realtors make is they don't have a P&L. And unless you have a P&L, you don't know where to cut things if you're spending too much, or you might need to spend more to get more leverage. So I'm going to go on to the next slide. Okay, so there is actually a lead generation model. Okay. By the way, when I talked about here, growing the business, that's really, if you don't do the grow the business side, the other side doesn't matter. Okay. And I can't stress that enough. And that's why we're going to get more into lead gen. Let's see, make sure I'm going the right way here. Okay. Okay. I got to move you guys over on my screen. Has anyone seen this graph before? Anyone? Well, this is where it's all at. Okay. The idea is to get leads. Okay. Getting leads is what we call, it's the one way. Okay. And it's an offer-based touch programs. So some of the ways we can get the leads is, of course, we're talking open houses and going after your database. Has anyone put their database in command yet?
Yep, I have.
Okay. Do you have your whole database in there?
Yes.
Wow. That's impressive. It usually takes people 10 years to actually figure out that I've got to get everything in my database. Okay, so I commend you. Anyone else? Have you worked with command and getting your contacts in there?
I do as well. I've got the majority of mine. I don't have all of them, which is a mistake because I thought I only should have my local people in there.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't have people that are from like northern Minnesota or the cities because they're outside of the area that I would sell, but I would be missing out on referrals potentially. So,
yep.
So
and,
I need to get the rest of mine updated.
Okay, and how wonderful it is.
Yes.
Send a referral to somebody and get 25 to 30% for doing nothing.
Right. Yep.
Nothing. So that's great that you're getting them in there. The other people you want to get in are any vendors that you've worked with. Okay. They've got to buy and sell houses too. So keep in touch with them, try to send them business. You're going to treat them like a lead. So the nice thing about getting leads and tracking them, and you know, even them you're going to communicate with on a regular basis, and we'll go into a little bit about that, how you can do that. Then we move into contacts. Contacts are two-way communication. Okay, you are moving them towards becoming a client. What does it mean becoming a client versus being a customer? Can anyone tell me?
Exclusive right to sell or buy versus facilitator?
Absolutely. Okay, so they could know you, respect, and love you, but unless you get them under contract, they're still a customer and they're still a person that knows, respects, and loves you. Okay, and that's what you're going to work towards. So, going to get more into the different steps of lead generation, database, and the sales pipeline. Okay, I'm going to move ahead. So right now we are focusing on lead generation. Okay, so does everyone have a good feel for what lead generation actually means? Tell me if you know what lead generation means.
Isn't it Mets versus non-Mets, and then creating the non-Mets becoming your Mets, essentially?
Absolutely. How did you learn that already?
Yesterday's Zoom call training.
Okay, well, good. It means you listen then.
We'll try.
Okay, so that's great, and there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Okay, we've already talked a little bit about the database, so but Lisa will go into it a little bit more. Okay, so as we said, leads, you're tracking and you're offering things to people. You're helping them, you're giving something of value. Contacts, it's two-way, and you know you're on your way to getting contracts and establishing a real working relationship with them, because they're now talking to you as well. I can tell you from my personal experiences, I do a lot of open houses still and always have. I actually enjoy doing open houses because I like meeting people. I'm one of those people that, you know, talk your head off, but actually at open houses, you learn just to listen. So I really do enjoy doing open houses. I don't like setting up the signs. I don't like that at all, but you have to do it anyway. So, so it's great once you have that two-way communication going on. I am going to just talk a little bit about marketing versus prospecting. Okay, I don't know if anyone has $1 million in the bank. I didn't when I started. Well, I still don't, but the great thing about prospecting is it does require a lot of time. Did you guys talk about time blocking? Okay, I myself time block in the morning. I actually have a sign on my door and it says no entry, and I have, you know, it has time blocking. So people know, don't even knock on my door when I'm time blocking, okay? So my schedule is I try to have my time blocking everyone I'm going to call, what I'm going to do, so that I'm ready. But if I do it so that I'm ready to start right at 9 o'clock, not a super morning person. So 9 o'clock's a good time for me. And I do it until noon. Okay. If you don't do it at night, you want to prepare everything, start at 8 o'clock so that you're off and running right away. So the nice thing about prospecting is you're proactive, so you're going towards them and you get immediate results. And, you know, whether it's phone, I'm glad to hear somebody say that they are, that they're private messaging people on Facebook, because I have a marketing person and I just sent her through a program on Get 50 contacts or 50 leads in 50 days of taking this course. And I myself have, because I'm old, slowly learned no one likes phone calls anymore. So I text a lot. Well, now that's getting, you know, unless they're not on Facebook, a lot of people don't respond to text anymore. And emails, well, who responds to those unless you have something to give them to respond to? So, so my marketing person said, oh, well, you need to do private messaging now. She said, it's not enough just to comment on things on Facebook, on what they're doing. She said, do that in the private message, what you were going to say to them. So that's my goal for from now on, is actually to do that. And I actually kind of prefer to do that anyway. And as you talked about, I call it stalking. I'm very good at that. I do lots of research on Facebook before I even contact somebody. It's great. Sometimes you didn't even know they had 5 kids. You knew when they had 1. And do any of you, when you see the birthdays, do you look at the next month's birthdays? Does anyone do that on Facebook? It's a very good tool. You go to birthdays coming up, and then you can go by month, and you see their faces, and you can even click, you know, on their profile. So now you will know when their birthday is. Hurry up and put it in command. I have a box of cards, birthday cards, baptism, wedding, engagement, anniversaries. I have it right in my drawer here. So I creep on them and I see that so-and-so has a birthday in March. So that goes in my database. So that's one way of collecting those and get that card out to them. Okay. So what it means by immediate results is, particularly, I encourage door knocking, and we'll go a little bit into that. And of course, the open houses. It's harder to come by open houses now, just because the houses don't stay on the market long enough. But the higher end houses do stay on a little bit longer. So you want to find out, you know, who has Keller Williams agents that have houses out there that maybe have, you know, you want something fresh, you know, even 2 weeks, a month, and ask them if you can do an open house there. Marketing. Marketing is money intensive. And what they mean by that is, I can tell you, I do a monthly postcard. It automatically goes out. You know, it's amazing, because I don't really cook much. It amazes me how many people cook. Do any of you cook a lot? Oh my gosh, this last postcard. So I'll do 1 month, it rotates, and it will give them a recipe 1 month. And then the next month it gives them a tip, like a household tip or something like that. And I decided to do it that way. I deal with this company called Sensations. It's Sensations. Okay. and they do it, automatically goes out, make sure I send one to myself. Because I realized when I didn't, somebody's like, that recipe that you sent is amazing. Did you make that? I'm like, yeah, well, I got to hurry up and grab one of those postcards to see what they're talking about. The one I sent out just a few days ago, I had like 5 calls on that. One guy even called to ask me where he could get this particular ingredient. So it's amazing that they actually look at it. And just so you know, it doesn't even matter if they look at it. You're going to have your face right there. And as long as they see your face on the way to the trash can, that was a success. If they actually read it, that's just amazing. So some of the things that I've purchased, so I do that, and that's the nurturing part of it. I also have recently, well, this is kind of dirty, but I bought coffee mugs, and you can catch sales on that. I have pens. I got these cool new pens. I'm a gadget freak. I got these cool new pens. They're arriving anytime now, and they have a spray antiseptic. So instead of where you click it, you can pull this cover off and you can spray it. I don't know if it writes very well, but I just thought it was so cool. So I'll be getting that soon. Some of the other things you can send out are calendars at the beginning of the year. What else do I have? Oh, I have pizza cutters, and this is part of the, the money intensive, but I'm nurturing them, and it's long-term results, okay? But while I'm on the pizza cutters, I'm going to give you a great way to nurture your clients once you have them. I bought the pizza cutters because I throw them a housewarming party. Okay? I throw them a pizza party. I have my name all over these pizza cutters. I'll attend the party. I don't stay that long. Oh, I bet I give everyone at the party a pizza cutter. And I introduce myself. And the client, oh, they're more than happy to introduce you, but I take it a step further. I ask the client, I tell them, I do this turnkey for you. All you have to do is give me the names and email addresses of your guest, and I'll send the invitation out. I'll send, so the RSVPs, why do I do that? Does anyone know why I do that? Why?
Have your name all over it.
Exactly. And build my database. Great way to do it. Okay. It's tough now to do those because of, COVID, but I used to do Mexican food. I used to go to El Carambas, but well, it's a lot more expensive, and seems like everyone likes pizza. So what the heck? So that's what I'm going to do. You can even just send the pizzas to them and just drop in and just say hi. Okay, so these are some of the things that take longer, but boy, do they go a long way. Any questions? Okay, Lisa, I don't know if Lisa can hear me. Lisa? Okay, I was gonna have her go through. Lisa?
Hey there, I was just finishing up a phone call.
Okay, can you go to command now? Because we're on database. And just show them, so I have to make you, okay.
Yeah, just hover over my name and there should be a more option and there should be a make post option.
Okay. Do you see anything?
Yep, I've got it.
Okay. So she's going to walk through some steps on command on, okay, you're there. On how to enter, how to filter, how to put people on campaigns, okay? So without further ado.
So can you just share with me where you're at?
I'm on database.
Is this where you're at right here, Lori?
That's where I am, yes.
Okay. Okay, so yes, database, very important. We always say, you'll hear a lot, that everything flows from your database. And also now, if you're taking any of the recent trainings that Keller Williams is pushing out, we're now calling it your data bank, because that's where, if you're nurturing your database as you're meant to, as according to the MREA model, that's where your money is going to come from. That's where your income comes from. So we call it your data bank. So your database is centrally storing information. It's updated regularly, can be organized to meet specific needs, and lead generation feeds your database. So we're going to talk about the importance of getting everyone that you know, like, and trust, and that hopefully knows, likes, and trusts you in your database, and the importance of filling out as much information as you can within the contact card, within that certain contact, and why that's important. And then we're going to go through tagging, we're going to go through filtering, setting up smart views, and a couple other things along the way. So this is just covering the contacts applet. We're not going to cover every single thing within the applet, but we're going to get you just the basics on when you get a lead, when you get a contact, what you should be doing, what you should be adding, and then how you're going to stay top of mind or stay in front of them. So the first thing is leads and contacts, and Lori touched on this a little bit. So there's really just two different types of people that you're going to have in your database. And if you watched any of the lead generation class yesterday from Emily Fair and Kevin Hinton, who are top agents in their markets in Milwaukee and Chicago, they talk about how there's really just two types of people. They're your Mets and haven't Mets. So your haven't Mets are going to be your leads, and your Mets are going to be your contacts. And it's really just as simple as that. Don't get too caught up in, paralysis by analysis, trying to figure out what category do these people fall into. There's two categories. So your leads, a lead is somebody you have valid contact information on and can have a one-way conversation with, where you are seeking permission. So very similar to what Lori mentioned as far as being in an open house. That person has come to your open house. They're kind of, they're kind of needing to talk with you, not necessarily seeking you out or wanting to talk with you. You're there, they're going to ask questions. So at that point, that person is a lead. So at what point does that person become a contact? That person becomes a contact when you start having a two-way conversation. Again, similar to what Lori said, you're starting to have a conversation about real estate. And then once that conversation starts to have substance, you start talking about pricing and terms and motivation and negotiating and things like that. That's when you pull out the agency relationships agreement. That's when you pull out that buyer contract and you start to talk about your fiduciary duties as an agent and how you can legally represent them when they sign that contract. That's another class. But at that point, that person becomes a contact. And at that point, if it feels like the right time, if it feels like you're getting into conversations, like I mentioned, that have to do with price, terms, and motivation, then you're going to want to start talking about, okay, let's get you under contract. I can legally represent you then. So as far as leads and contacts, within Command, there are many, many smart plans that you have available at your disposal. A smart plan is no different than just a set it and forget it plan. If you've ever used any type of customer relationship management tool in past professions that you had, Amy, you might have had something similar to some type of customer relationship management tool. It's really just a series of emails, texts, reminders for you to just stay in front of these people that are in your database. And so for leads and contacts, there's a series of touches that you're going to want to set up, and you're going to hear 36 touch, 33 touch, 42 touch, 38 touch. I mean, in the MREA, I believe it is a 33 or 36 touch, but agents do put their own spin on it. So whenever you hear anything like that, whether it's 33, anywhere from, 33 to 48 or whatever it is, just know that that is just a series of texts and emails and reminders that are going out, that are going to remind, that are going to help you stay top of mind with your people, and also that are going to remind you like, oh, hey, it's time to call this person, pick up the phone and just have a conversation. And, you know, if you guys were on the first Ignite, which I think you all were with Erin, she mentioned that it's not a conversation about real estate. It's just a conversation about checking in, just seeing how that person is doing, checking in on their family, their job. This is just a really great time to do so too, because of COVID, right? We don't know who is still employed. We don't know who's having to maybe move or downsize, just with everything that's going on right now. So it's a great time to just check in with your people. If the conversation turns to real estate, great. If not, that's fine. Real estate is all about just coming from contribution. And you'll hear that a lot at Keller Williams. It's a bold law. So if you take bold, which is like Ignite on steroids, and we'll get you the information when that's coming out, because typically they do run a bold in the spring, and typically it's in person. I don't think it's going to be in person this spring. You know, hopefully next time it's run, we might be seeing an in-person bold. But basically, you know, if you take that, you know, you'll see that they talk a lot about just staying top of mind, staying in front of your people. So
can I give a quick plug for Bold?
Yes, please do.
I've done probably 10 Bold classes, and it is definitely, it's an understatement that it's Ignite on steroids. But I'll tell you what I really like about it is it does show you discipline and accountability. It's also interpersonal. You dig into your, I guess your gut, you know, I mean, so there's a lot of that, and you learn a lot about yourself and how you operate. So you always pick up something different. You'll hear agents that have been in the business 20, 30 years, they take Bold all the time. So I encourage you to do that. You will be, again, head and shoulders above anyone else, whether they've been in the business 10, 15, 20 plus years. So, you know, really do it for yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Lori. Bold is very lead gen heavy, but it's also very mindset heavy. And you really kind of go back to doing vision casting and remembering, okay, why did I get into this business to begin with? What is my ultimate goal of this business? And really digging deep. And you know, that's going to help you to be able to do the things that are maybe simple, not easy, as Lori mentioned. So 19 to connect for leads and 36 to convert for contacts. So I'm just going to go through the 36 touch. So for the 36 touch, we've got 4 touches so that's 4 telephone calls. So that's contacting every single person in your database 4 times per year. And there's a smart plan for that in Command, which I'll show you. 26 touches, biweekly email offering some type of information of value to the consumer. So what that is that's going to be your biweekly neighborhood nurture. And I'll show you how to set that up as well. Now, if you want to, you can do your own 36 touch. I would just say that it doesn't necessarily have to be the biweekly neighborhood nurture that you send out. Maybe it's something else that you send out, but I would say just stick to this model, stick to the 4 calls, the 26 emails, the 2 events, and then the 4 promotional direct mails. Don't switch it up much more than that unless you're adding to it, because this has been proven to help you convert your clients. As Emily and Kevin mentioned yesterday, for that 2 to 12 ratio. So for every, or 1 to 6 ratio. So for every 6 people you have in your database, if you're staying top of mind and if you are doing the activities that you should be doing, that the MREA tells us all to do, you should be converting 1 out of 6 of those people. It's not going to be that you're going to convert them right now because they might not be ready to move, but over the course of time, you should be converting 1 out of 6, which is an amazing conversion rate.
I just have something to add, because I always have something to add. You really want to use Command at this point because, as you know, there's so many things getting thrown at you. At a minimum, you're going to want to put them on a smart plan, and that's what Lisa's going to go through. And I have had so much great response from putting them on that neighborhood, what's that called, Lisa? The
Neighborhood nurture.
Neighborhood nurture. They love that. It tells them the value of the homes around them, what's sold and what's on the market. And I get comments on that all the time. And they think you're spending all kinds of time figuring that out. Oh my gosh, that just, it's a game changer. No one else is doing it. I'm just going to talk about one event, sort of event that I've done that I've got really good feedback from. I did a room makeover. I offered a room makeover contest. Only cost me $100 because I just paid my, my interior designer that does it. But they have to give me their address and their phone number. And sometimes I didn't have that because I just didn't. And so that was a great way to make my database healthier. So you can get 3 touches out of that, okay? You call them and you tell them, I'm going to be doing a drawing, and then they get the actual invitation for the drawing. And then you let them know what the next drawing is going to be, and to look for it in the next email, the e-newsletter. Okay, so you always want them, action, 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 call to action. So go ahead, Lisa.
Alrighty, so we're gonna just go to the next slide here. So the first thing that we're gonna go into is contacts. So adding contacts to your database. So what we're going to do, if you guys are in front of a computer and you're able to do so, go ahead and log into your Connect, which is going to be agent.kw.com. And if you know your username and password, go ahead and get logged in. And I'm going to log out. I'm logged in as Katie right now. Alrighty, so go ahead and get logged in. The second applet down here on the left-hand side is going to be your contacts. And so if you forget what these applets are named, you can just click on this red KW square up here, and you'll see this fly out, and it's got all the names of the applets right here as well. So we're going to click on contacts, and it's pretty, this program is very intuitive, and it's pretty user-friendly. Oh, go ahead.
I can't see what you're clicking on.
I suppose I
should
should share
screen?
my screen.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so can you see it now? Or no?
I see tech demo, manage your database.
Okay. I just have to do a new share. Hold on one second. Is that different?
Yep. I can see.
Does it say Lisa Hansmeyer's contacts on the top?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, as I was saying, pretty user-friendly. So we're just going to go up here and click on Add Contact. And if you don't know who to add, you can just go ahead and add yourself. This is a great way to see what the bi-monthly neighborhood nurtures look like when you put when you set somebody up on that smart plan. So we're going to type in full name. So if you know the person's full name, I'm just going to use myself as an example. I already have myself in here as a contact, so I'm not going to go all the way, but I'll show you guys how to do this. So full name is going to go in here for contact. If you are adding somebody that has a partner and you want to add them together so that they go in as separate contacts, but if you were to send out some type of like direct mail, for example, they're only going to receive 1 piece of mail and not 2. You're going to want to click on Add Relationship and type in that spouse's name or that partner's name, whomever that might be. You can click here and you can click the different relationship types. I can scroll down and there's more. You can see lots of different options. You'll type in their first and last name, and then you'll click Add. So like I said, what that's going to do is it's going to create 2 separate contacts, but they will be connected when it comes to sending certain things out, certain marketing things out. Primary email is going to be whatever their email address is. Primary phone As a best business practice, enter in all the information that you have on this person while you are adding the contact. Even if, you know, maybe you're on the fly and you're using the Kelly app to just add their name and their email quickly because that's the information that you got. When you get back to the office, when you get back to your computer, open it back up, bring up the contact card again and fill in any other information that you have that you maybe didn't have or didn't have time to add before, because the more information that you enter in here, the better the system is going to work for you, and the better the artificial intelligence that's built into the system is going to be able to predict where people are in the home buying or in the home selling process. And it's also going to be able to help you figure out who you should be contacting. So as a side note, when we're talking about the artificial intelligence in the program, one of the questions that we get a lot is there's a lot of data in here. Where does it go? What happens to it? Which is a great question. So about 5 years ago, Gary Keller and his team started building this platform, and we built it from the ground up with our agents in mind. So there's something called labs. The agents, there was a specific group of people that were labbing the whole entire process with us. Any agent from any Keller Williams had the ability to bring up any idea that they had, like, hey, I use this platform for this. I would love to see Command be able to do this. We add it. So we really truly built it with our agents in mind. And so you'll see as this program works, it really was built by real estate agents. And that was one of the biggest complaints that a lot of agents had with other CRM tools or other platforms where they were doing the same things that Command can do, is that it doesn't work for real estate agents on what they need. So we built the technology from the ground up. We own the technology. We did not contract with anybody else to build this. It was our internal technology department that built it. And also, if we let anybody else run on our platform, because there is a marketplace, and you know, if you've had your tech orientation with me, we've talked a little bit about marketplace probably, but it's this little icon right here. It's this little storefront right here. There's other apps that we allow to run on our platform, but not without signing what we call our data pledge. And what our data pledge is they are not allowed to share the data that they have access to with anybody, whether that be within their company or any other, you know, companies that may be part of like a parent company or something like that. So just know that your data is safe here. We own it. And again, we don't allow any other company to run on our platform without signing our data pledge first. As a matter of fact, there are some big ones like BombBomb. They will not agree to our data pledge. And so unfortunately, that's not integrated with Command yet. That's a pretty popular app that a lot of agents use. Hopefully they will decide that they're okay with our data pledge, but right now they're not. And so we're not partnering with them. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of peace of mind when you're entering your information in here. And also it gives you some talking points when you get that same question from clients, because you probably will at some point. Data privacy is a very big deal right now. So anywho, going through the rest of the contact card, you're going to select from list, lead, source, type. So you can either select from list or select from contacts. And we're just going to say the lead source. We'll just say that this person is a lead. And we'll say, I'm sure open house is in here. Yeah, open house. So if we click on this, it's automatically going to add them as open house as a lead source. And then we can either mark as lead, add to sales pipeline, or you can leave this blank. Also, just so that you know, if you want to create a source that's not here, let's just say that you do like a buyer's class every month, and you want to create that source so that you're tracking those leads that come from your buyer's class. You can type that in, you can click create custom source, and then add. You can also pick a source category, whatever you want to pick for the category, and then add. So just know that the system is very customizable. If there's something in here that you want to tag somebody as, or you want to put in a custom field or custom lead source, you can certainly do so. So for this, we're just going to mark as lead. Marking as lead, what's going to happen is that's just going to mark somebody as a lead, and it's going to put a little L next to their contact when you're looking up the contacts in the list of your contacts. If I were to add to sales pipeline, what that means is I'm pretty certain that this person is going to transact within the next, like, we'll just say 3 months or less. Or maybe even 6 months or less. But what you don't want to do is if you have somebody that's like really far out, or you just don't necessarily need to be keeping them top of mind for you and to be cultivating and nurturing them at this point. I would say don't add them to your pipeline, because, you know, maybe put a reminder on, like, every couple months you give them a call. But if somebody's not ready, they're a ways out, you don't want to be, you know, sending them all kinds of stuff and calling them, and that's just going to turn them off. So for this purpose, we'll just mark as lead. And then down here, I'm just going to click add more information. This is going to bring some more options up. Down here under tags is really all it is you're just putting people in a certain group. So let's just say that you have, let's just say that you do a pie event. Pie events are big at Keller Williams. So what that is we've got, like, you can go to Costco and get apple pies and pumpkin pies right around the holidays for, like, I don't know, Laura, you do a pie event. What are they, like $8-10 a piece?
$5 for pumpkin, $10 for apple.
Yeah, so super cheap. And not every single person that you invite to the pie event is going to take you up on it, but it's just a matter of, like, you thought of them, you invited them, and they saw your name, and they know that you are, you know, giving little items of value, you know, reaching out to your clients, sharing something that's very comforting and you know, just special around the holidays. So what the pie event is, like, we'll have agents set up a little table out here, and they'll say, hey, you know, I don't know, Lori, why don't you just really quickly talk about your pie event that you run?
Okay, here's the thing about the pie event. It's a bunch of touches. Okay, you send that invitation out. I used to give them a choice of pumpkin or apple. Every year I did. Now I just do pumpkin because it's cheaper. and you hope that they don't want it, but you got your touch. So you're gonna send 2 reminders out ahead of time. You know, send your little, you know, you can make it as simple as just an email. And those are to the people that you're cultivating, and maybe they're a customer or a client. Especially you want to send it to people that have sent you referrals. You might want to give them the choice of an apple or a pumpkin, you know, the referral people. So yeah, it's great. And then you call them and you remind them of the pumpkin, the pie event. And then you let them know, you know, thank them, ask how their holiday was. I usually do it right before, 2 days before Thanksgiving. And you ask them how their holiday is. Look at how simple that is. You got 3 touches right there. So fairly easy. What we did a COVID safe pumpkin or pie event. I keep saying pumpkin. And they would text us from their car, and we'd bring their pie out to them. So they loved that. So that's one of the events.
Yeah, so just a really inexpensive event to run, but as Lori mentioned, you're getting a lot of traction from it. You're getting a lot of leverage from it. So for example, so let's just say that I wanted to tag, if I was giving a choice of pie, I wanted to tag pumpkin or apple. And then when the next year rolls around, I'm calling everybody that I'm inviting to my pie event, and I say, hey, Barb, I was just calling to let you know I'm running my pie event again this year. Looks like last year you wanted an apple. I'd be happy to reserve an apple for you again. Is that what you want? Would you like to pick pumpkin instead? And so that's just a really small example of how you want to tag somebody. But it can be a number of things. It can be maybe like 2020 buyers, 2020 sellers. It could be your VIPs. So your VIPs are going to be the people that, like, regardless, no matter what, when a friend or an acquaintance of theirs brings up real estate, they are always going to mention your name, and they're always going to refer to you. So that would be like your VIP list. So there's different ways that you can choose to tag. There's also something called Do the Database Too, which you'll learn in bold, which breaks up your database in 2 letters a day. And every single person, let's just say like A and D. So that's not right. It's not A and D. It's like probably A and T or something like that. But for every single person that you have in your database with the last name that begins with the letter A and the letter T, you're tagging them and you set yourself up with a smart plan. And so that every day you're reminded, okay, today you're going to call everybody in your database whose last name begins with A, and everybody in your database whose last name begins with T. And maybe you set it up for the day, maybe you set it up for the week, but that's another example of a tag as well. But when you get into bold, they will kind of run you through that and why that's important and how to tag as well. The reason that tags are important is, like I said, it's really just, it's an opportunity for you to just put a group of people together, and then you can filter by that group of people, and you can perform certain bulk actions, like send a bulk text, send a bulk email, set up with a bulk smart plan, things like that. So let's just, we'll just do, I don't know, fire 2019 as a tag. Okay, so then additional contact information, any information that you have here, again, anything that you have, if there's a field for it, put it in. So this is just additional email and additional phone. So if you've got two people that you, if you've got a spouse or a partner or an acquaintance that you put up here, don't put their email and phone number here, because you want to go into their separate contact card and enter that information there. This is just going to be additional phone number and additional contact or additional email for this person's name right here. So you put that information in. The primary address is what is essential for you to be able to send out that bi-monthly or monthly neighborhood nurture. So if you don't have their address, you can still set them up on a neighborhood nurture. Maybe it's a neighborhood that they're interested in living in, or maybe you know the neighborhood that they live in, but you don't necessarily have their address. So you can still set them up on a neighborhood nurture. If you don't have their primary address, the nice thing about it is putting in their primary address automatically captures the neighborhood that they're in, and so it's just a little bit more productive way to do it. So let's see, let's go. Let's just pick an address. Apartment, unit, suite. You can do same as mailing address. So this is important. If this address right here is their primary address and is same as mailing address, if you send out a direct mail campaign, it's going to go to this address right here. Now, you may have some contacts that have different investment properties. And so for the primary address, you just want to make sure that that's the address where they receive their mail, if you're going to check this right here. Social profiles, any social profiles that they have, you're going to want to add on here. It's just an easy way for you to bring up the contact and then link right out to their Facebook page to see what's going on, or link right out to their Instagram or whatever it is to see what's going on in their life. Because let's just say that you've tagged everybody for either the do the database to or the quarterly call plan. So you've got tasks that come up on your tasks list every day over here, and you've got to call these 10 people. And we don't necessarily know what to call them about. To Lori's point, go on their Facebook page and just see what's going on with them lately. You're going to find something pretty quickly to call and be like, hey, I just wanted to check in with you. By the way, I saw, oh my gosh, you had a new grandbaby. She's so sweet. Maybe send, a congratulations card. Maybe send, a little tiny bouquet of flowers, maybe a fun little onesie or something, just those little things that show that you care go such a long way. And I would also add to that, excuse me, I would also add to that if you're in this business, or if you're making those phone calls or making those touches with the intention of getting business, and you're not truly coming from contribution, and you don't truly genuinely care or believe what you're saying, you're probably not in the right business. And I don't say that to be harsh or to scare you out of this business. But if you're not coming across as genuine, people are going to pick up on that. And so you'll hear us talk a lot about like, oh, these are the things that you could talk about or you could bring up. And it's not in a sales way. It's in a genuinely, like, I care. I want to know about you. I want to know about your family, how things are going. So just keep in mind, again, come from contribution. It's a bold law. You'll hear that a lot. Okay, so connecting the profiles, that's really important. Any of this about information, so you can certainly fill this in if you have it. Birthday is important, and home anniversary is also important. So birthday, there's a birthday smart plan. So if you've got their birthday in here, you're going to have a smart plan that you're going to assign them to, where it's going to text you, or it's going to send them a text and tell them happy birthday from you. It's going to send them an email. It's going to send you a reminder to give them a call. Same with home anniversary. So this is going to be the date that they moved into their home. So let's say that you've got somebody that moved into their home a year ago today. You'll have a smart plan that tells you, hey, call this person. They moved into their home a year ago today. It's also going to be a text and an email as well. So those are important if you have them. Like I was saying, again, all the information that you have on the contact, put in here, because the system is just going to work that much better for you. And you can also add more as well, as far as relationships go. So you can add more, like we added the spouse at the top, you can add more relationships here as well. Let's say that you want to add the kids. So you add daughter and 2 sons. Let's say that you've got, and you can add their work information here as well, which is really good if you don't necessarily remember where they work or what they do. It's just good reminders, good information to have in there. Then I can go to custom and I can create any custom field that I want to as well. So the more information that you fill out on the contact card, the healthier that contact will be. And what you really want is you want to get to 100% health. So if I go to my reports here on the left-hand side, and I look at my database health score, if it was under 50, it's going to be red. Anything over 51 is going to be green. And so you want to get this health as close to 100% as you can. I can go down here and I can see I have 96% of the people in my database with phone numbers, 95% emails. That's pretty good, but I am lacking, seriously lacking. I don't sell real estate, guys. So please don't, yours will look way better than this. 14% with addresses, only 8% with neighborhoods, 0% with home anniversary, 9% with birthdays. So this is an opportunity right here when you look at your database health. Okay, where can I, where are the opportunities for me to get more information, to maybe have more conversations, to get my database health higher? So this is great. 14% addresses. So I'm going to want to go in and call those people. And to Lori's point, she just ran a contest to get people to provide their addresses. That was a great idea. Or just calling people in your database and saying, hey, I'm just updating my database. I realize I don't have your primary address. I can send you hyper-local information about your neighborhood and what's going on, what's for sale, what's recently sold, how much it's sold for in your specific neighborhood. Is that information that you'd be interested in? Yes, great. Let me know what your address is and I'll get that set up for you right away. Neighborhoods, same thing. So this is just a great tool for you to see how healthy your database is. So you're going to go in, save that contact. Once you have the contact saved, you're just going to go to your contacts over here and search for your contact that you just entered and click on it. So now you've got your contact card. So any information that you entered is going to be over here on the left-hand side. If you want to edit it, you just click on this pencil here. And then also if you want to, there's different ways to perform different actions with contacts within the system. So you can add a smart plan. You can archive a contact. Over here on the right-hand side, this timeline is so awesome. And so if you've got, this is every single thing that you have done, that the contact has done within the platform. And so if you've got your contacts using your app or your website to search for homes, as long as the email address that they use to create an account on the app or the website matches the email address in the contact card, all of their activity will sync over here. What's so cool about this is that it really gives you some intel on how close they are to, their next transaction opportunity. So for example, this is when I first set up. So subscribed to neighborhood, unsubscribed from neighborhoods. This is a great example right here. Okay, so you had a contact that subscribed to these certain neighborhoods, and then all of a sudden you see that they unsubscribed to a certain neighborhood. Well, why did they do that? You don't want to necessarily call them and say like, hey, I was just looking and I saw that you unsubscribed to this specific neighborhood. That might be a little weird. You don't maybe necessarily want everybody to know exactly how much information that you have or that you can see. But maybe it's just a phone call of like, hey, it's been a little while since we talked. Just want to know how your home search was going. Are you still looking in the same neighborhoods? Has that changed? Something like that. So just an opportunity for you to pick up the phone. And then again, any text sent, any emails, if they are making collections for homes, if they're saving homes within the app or the website, that will show up here as well. So that's your timeline. So any opportunities. So if you have opportunities are really just transactions. So any transactions, whether it be listings or sales that you have that are connected to this contact will show up here. And so you can quickly just go to those opportunities from this tab if you'd like. If you don't want to go into opportunities and then try to search for it, you can go to the contact and go to opportunities and find it that way. Any smart plans that this specific contact is signed up with or set up with will show up here. Any tasks that are due, any notes, and then save searches. So save searches is going to be if they've done a saved search on the app or the website, you'll be able to go in here and you'll be able to see what those saved searches are as well. So you're getting a lot of information from the client, and that's why it's so important. We talk about getting the app in as many hands as you can and getting as many people as you can to use your website is so important, because the amount of information that you're going to obtain with as far as like how close they are to their next transaction is just so essential, and it's just going to help you run your business that much better. So I'm just going to quickly about notes. These notes should always be notes that have to do with your contact and not necessarily specific to an opportunity. There is a note section in opportunities as well. This just has to do with the contact. So let's just say that you want to make some notes about like their kids, names, how old they are, what their interests are, maybe the pet's names, things like that. Just information to jog your memory when you're calling them or when you're having those conversations with that contact. Okay, any questions so far? That's pretty much adding a contact. Then we're going to jump into how to set them up on the neighborhood nurture, smart plans, and then some other things as well. But any questions at this point? All righty. I just have to move this over. I should just hide it. Okay. Okay, so now I want to jump into, let's jump into custom tags, and we'll do smart plans at the end, and I'll show you guys how to do the neighborhood nurture. So custom tags, we kind of already touched on that. Contacts is the longest part, you guys, so the rest of this is going to go quick. We kind of already touched on that. Let me get back to my screen here. Okay, so let's just say that I've got a custom tag that I want to create for this contact. I'm just going to go to edit and go down to tags, and I'm going to do my custom tag, whatever it may be. You're just going to click create custom tag, and you can give it a specific color, which is fun. We'll make it purple, and then click add. And now you've added this custom tag. Oh, I can't spell custom. Now you've added this custom tag to your client, and it also has been added to your custom tag database as well. So anytime you add a custom tag to a specific client, you're going to be able to use it for the next client or the next contact or lead that you set up. So if I go over here to, go over here to the drop down, go to settings. I can go to where is it? There's a custom fields in here somewhere. Here we go. So under command settings, under contacts, I can go to custom fields, and I can look at, custom tags. Right here, I can go to contact tags, and I can look at anything that I have created as far as tags go, or the current tags that I'm using as well. I can also go in here and go to custom fields and create any custom fields that I want to too. Like for example, I did a kids and pets field. So there are different settings that you can go into over here as well, which we won't get into, but as you're going through 30, 60, 90, you'll have training on all of this. Rachel, I know that you have been through almost your entire 30, 60, 90, and so you're probably familiar with this. Just know that when you do go through that training, it's a lot, but once you get through it, it's just gonna make the system make a lot more sense and take some of the confusion away. So that would be how you would set up custom tags. Let's go back into contacts, and I want to go over filters and smart views quickly. So this filters is no different than when you're searching for anything else on the internet. You guys are probably used to this. Like for example, let's say you're searching like for an Airbnb and you want something with a pool and you want something that's on the beach. You can do a filter to filter out everything else that doesn't include those things, right? So this is no different than that. So let's just say that I want to, and you can pretty much filter by any field. So let's just say that I only want to see contacts that have a specific lead source, because I'm going to, you know, send an email maybe to those people or send them a text. So I'm going to click agent and then go down here and click apply. And now it's filtered out everybody that doesn't have that agent tag. Let's pick a different one. I'm just going to pick a tag. And you can see, you can filter has neighborhoods, yes or no. So that's a great way for you to filter out everybody that has a neighborhood assigned. So you can see everybody that doesn't currently have a neighborhood assigned. So we'll click apply. Okay, so now I've got my filtered list here. And let's just say that now I want to send all these people something. So if I click the select all button, right now, it's only showing that I've selected 10. I can go over here because chances are I have more than just those 10. So I can go over here where it says show 1 through 10, and I'm just going to go and show 500 contacts. It defaults to 10 just because the program works quicker when it's only showing 10 contacts at a time. So we're going to click the select all button, making sure that all of our contacts are selected. And then I'm going to click select bulk action. So now you can see I can add a bulk note. I can archive all of these contacts. I can send a bulk SMS, which is a bulk text message. I can add bulk tags, add to email list, make a copy and share. So if I'm part of a team and I want to copy and share these contacts with a team member, I can do that. I can mark as a lead, unmark as lead, add to smart plan. I can export contacts, export mailing labels, export mailing labels as PDF, send to selected lead pool, or change account. And changing account really just means that I can have these agents go to a different account. So if I'm a Rainmaker and I've got my Rainmaker account, but then I have my individual account, I can, you know, send them maybe to just my individual account if I want to. So lots of different bulk actions that you can perform here. As far as, you know, filtering out, and maybe you necessarily don't want to perform one of these bulk actions, but you just want to see, okay, who are my 2020 contacts? Because I'm going to call them all today. Or who are my 2020 buyers? I'm going to call them all today. You can filter out everybody else. You've got your list right here and you're ready to rock. So let's turn the filters off. I'm just going to go down here and clear all and then apply. And then you'll see this filters button turns back to white. And so if you're searching for a contact and you're not finding them, if your filters button is blue, that means you've got a filter on. And typically when we see agents have that problem, that's usually what's happening, is they've got a filter on. So turn your filter off and then you should be able to go back and search and find whoever you're looking for. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over is smart views. So you've got a few different smart views here, and smart views is really just a saved search. It's no different than that. You've set up certain criteria and now you've saved that criteria. So you want to run that search again. So it's very similar to like if you're in MLS, you've selected certain criteria, you're running that criteria and you want to save it so that every time you go into MLS, you just click on the link, it runs your search for you, and then you can see like all the new listings or whatever you're searching for in whatever specific area. So there are some system created smart views for you. So you've got campaigns. This shows contacts that are associated with a campaign. You have a no neighborhood smart view, which shows contacts that do not have any neighborhoods associated with them. And then you have a who should I call? Shows contacts that you have not contacted within the last 30 days. So these smart views are great. If you want to, you can go to create smart view and you can create your own. So all you're doing here is you're giving it a name, and then I'm sorry, scratch that. You're going to want to filter out whoever you want to filter out first, and then you're going to go and create your smart view. So so you want to get your filters how you want them, and then create your smart view and give it a name. And then you can go to manage smart views. And if you've created one that you just don't want to have on there, or you feel it's just not relevant anymore, you can just click here to edit it, or you can click here to delete it. Delete Smart View, yes, and we'll delete this one too, just to clean things up here a bit. And we'll apply new default, current default. Okay. Alrighty, so really quickly before we get into smart plans and how to set up the neighborhood nurture, I do just want to show you some different options that you have here on the contact dashboard as well. So if you haven't put your contacts into command yet, there is an import option here. I would say, I mean, if you are somebody that is really excited about tackling importing your contacts on your own and matching up the fields, go for it. But if you don't want to do that, just send your list to me. We utilize a tech concierge company that will reformat your list so that once it's imported, all the fields are matching up and anything that's in your current database is going to end up in command. This just has to be like a CSV file or an Excel file. So if you don't have your database in that file right now, that file type right now, I can send you a template. You know what, I'm just going to send everybody the template. What you're going to do is you're just going to plug in your date. You're going to plug in all the information into that template. Once you're done, send it back over to me and we'll get it imported into command for you. But if you have somewhere where you've got all of your contacts already and you just want to export, like your phone, for example, that's really what I recommend. Like people, lots of times when I ask the question, where does your database live? Or do you have a specific place where your database lives? I get a lot of no's and people just don't realize that it's already in your phone. So all the contacts in your phone, you do have the ability to export out of your phone. And typically with most programs, when you do an export, there is a CSV file option to be able to export. Choose that. And we can export it and then reformat it and import it into command. So getting your database in command is a lot easier than you might think. And if it's something that you want to do and you're just needing a little help with, just reach out to me. I'd be happy to walk through that with you. So import contacts, you can certainly do that here as well if you want to. And then there's some other options here as well. Export all own contact, export mailing labels, export PDF for mailing labels, PDF for all own contacts. So there's some of the same options here that we saw when we were creating bulk actions over here as well. So another thing that you may be interested in doing is customizing these columns here. So very similar to MLS, when you're doing searches, you can customize what columns you're showing here. So I'm going to click on customize columns and I definitely want to have last visited. This is going to be the date that they last visited your app or your website. So you always want to have this one on here. Last contacted, sure. Any tags? Maybe I don't need the stage, phone, email, yes. Updated, sure. And then whatever other email, whatever other information you want to have in here. So then we're going to go click apply. And now if I want to, I can make these smaller. If I go back to customize columns, I can move them around. And so this is going to change the order that they show up in. So let me move like primary phone up here. That they show up in on your dashboard. So now you can see I've changed the order. Okay, so let's just say that this is where this comes in really handy. I really like this. You've got some people that are using your app, using your website. And if you click on this last contacted and you sort by, I'm sorry, not last contacted, last visited. Sort by last visited, you can see who the last person was to visit your website or your app. And so this is a great opportunity for you to reach out to those people. So let's just say that you've got a buyer that is very casually looking and they really haven't been on the app or the website very much, but now all of a sudden in the past 3 days, they've been on every single day. Well, you can go in and you can look at their history by going to the timeline, look at the history, and now you're seeing, okay, maybe these people are ready to start to do something. And maybe you weren't scheduled to call them for a month, but now it looks like the activity as far as them looking for a house has picked up a little bit. So this is a great time to give them a phone call. So great example of, using the system to be able to predict when a lead or a contact may be ready for that next transaction before you were scheduled to call them. Because there's something that we talk about at Keller Williams, and it's called the law of emotional proximity. And really what that means is people tend to deal with the person that's closest to them when they're in need of something. So if you think of when you go into a department store and somebody asks you at the door, hey, how are you? What can we help you with today? What do you say? I'm just looking. But then you're in the kitchen section and you can't find the mixer that you want. Who are you going to ask? Are you going to go back to that original person that asked you how you were doing at the door? No, you're going to find the person that's closest to you and you're going to ask them. So again, it's called the law of emotional proximity. When people are in an immediate need, they typically go to the person that's closest to them. And so that's why we recommend that it's always very important that you stay top of mind with your people. So when they think of a real estate agent, they're going to always think of you first because you're the person whose name just runs across their email all the time or calls them to check in. You're the person that's top of mind with them. Okay, so let's jump into smart plans really quickly. So let's see. Let me just go back to myself as a contact. Okay, so let's say you put your contact in here, you've put in the primary, you've put in the primary address, and so it's automatically gonna figure out what neighborhood they're in. Now, this one, just because I use my account for testing a lot, I've added other neighborhoods as well, but when you put in your contact, it's only going to find one specific neighborhood for them. And so this is what it looks like. So we'll just say, for example, my neighborhood is Sand Lake Road, which is in Onalaska. So I can see the neighborhood here. I can copy the link. I can also see suggested neighborhoods. So these are going to be nearby neighborhoods. And then I can click on preview and I can see what that neighborhood nurture looks like. And so this is the email that your client's going to receive every 2 weeks or every month, depending on whether you've decided to set them up on a bi-monthly neighborhood nurture or monthly neighborhood nurture. And so this is what we call a neighborhood snapshot. And so it's going to have a map view over here. So you can kind of hover over and see what properties these are that are being featured here. And then over on the right-hand side, you can click on any of these properties and get more information. So for example, looks like this property it's listed for $599. It's for sale, so it's active. Listed 4 months ago. I can see the number of bedrooms, baths. So all the information, all the detail information, most of what's going to come from the MLS is going to be here. Then you're going to have school information, mortgage payment information. There's a contact card or a lead generation form down there. I can click on Keller Mortgage and I can apply for a mortgage right through here. I can click on Keller Covered and I can find out sometimes some properties are not applicable. So that might be what's happening here. But I can click on Keller Covered and get an insurance quote right here as well. So I can have a good idea of if I could qualify for this house or what the insurance would be on the home as well. So good information. And let's just say that I'm your client. I'm the person that you sent this to. I've got several neighborhoods that you have set me up with as the agent. So I want to be able to toggle back and forth between those neighborhoods. So we'll just say that Sand Lake Road is my neighborhood. So this is where I live, but these are maybe the neighborhoods that I'm interested in. And so I can toggle back and forth between Mayfair and Oak Avenue and Harmony Hills and see what's available in those neighborhoods. So I can say, oh, you know, this house in this neighborhood, like that might be something that I want to take a look at. So I click on it and then I send maybe my agent an email. Hey, I want to go see this property. You'll get a notification on your Kelly app or on the Command website and you're ready to go. So everything, the Command, Connect, the app, the website, the Kelly app, everything runs on the same platform and they all talk to each other and they're all integrated. So anything that happens on any of these platforms, you'll be able to get notified and you'll be able to see on Command as well. Okay, so that's what the neighborhood nurture looks like. And lastly, we'll just jump into smart plans and what that looks like. So going back to the 36 touch, if you were to just want to set up every single person in your database on a 36 touch, Rachel, if you don't have every single person in your database set up on some type of touch system, I would definitely recommend doing that. So let me just go back to contacts, and there's a few different ways that you can do it. You can go into a specific contact and you can go over to the right hand side, click on smart plans and click add to smart plans. You can add somebody to a smart plan that way, or you can bulk add by just going to contacts, filtering out whoever you want to filter out, and then clicking on the select all, select bulk action and add to smart plan. So now you can see these are all the smart plans that I have in my library. If you don't see anything here, that just means you haven't added any smart plans to your library. So you want to go down to the fourth applet here on the left, which is smart plans. And you're going to want to click on library, because this is where all the smart plans are housed. These are the smart plans that you chose for you to use specifically. And the reason there's two different categories is because if you had to search the entire library every time you wanted to add somebody to a smart plan, it'd take a long time. So what you want to do is you want to go into the library, pick the smart plans that you want to use, add them to your smart plans. That way you just have to go through like 20 in order to find the one you want, or whatever it may be. So here's the smart plans library. There are Keller Williams International created smart plans here. So if you go to these 10 up here, these were like the basics. This is what we all started out with. And these are still very relevant and very effective. The biweekly neighborhood nurture, if you're going to set somebody up with that, you're going to want to use this one. So the biweekly neighborhood nurture, the quarterly call plan, the birthday smart plan, the home anniversary smart plan. Don't try creating your own, because these smart plans will not work if you try to create your own, because the intelligence isn't there for it to be able to tell when that birthday is or when that home anniversary is. So just make sure that you're using the Keller Williams created ones for those specific things. Okay, so if let's just say that you want to add the birthday smart plan, you're just going to click add to smart plan. It's super simple. This is going to add to your library, and you just click download and you're done. Because Keller Williams is a company of collaboration and culture, and for those of you that have been with us a while, you know what the Y4C2Ts is, you know what our mission, vision, values, and belief system are. You know that we are a company that knows that we all grow by helping others grow. And so what you see here is you've got 493 smart plans that other agents in markets all across the country have created and have decided to share with other agents, so that you can take that smart plan, you can download it, you can make it your own, and you can immediately implement it. Because one of the biggest things that we find with agents is smart plans are a little bit of work in the front end to create, but once you have them in place and they're running, it's so great, because you've got all these email, all these texts going out on your behalf, and you don't even know what's happening. So let's just say, for example, we want to set up a 36 touch. So I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to search. And now I've got all these different 36 touch options. So you can also see 230 agents are using this one, 126 agents are using this one. There's been 2 reviews. There's a 5-star review, one 5-star review here. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to add to smart plan. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this how I want to, and then set my people up with it. If I wanted to see what the steps were, I can click on view steps, and I can actually hover over and see exactly what's going out and what these steps are, what the text message says when it goes out. There is a touch task, comment an agent's post picture. So there's all these different tasks or automatic texts or emails that go out, and then it's going to repeat. And so it's going to go through these 12 steps, and then it's going to repeat again. And so if you're setting up a smart plan, or if you're creating your own smart plan, or you're adopting somebody else's smart plan, if it makes sense to have it repeat, make sure that you have it repeat. Or what you want to do, if you're not having that smart plan repeat, the last thing is to set up an automatic task for you that reminds you that this smart plan has ended. So you either want to set them up on a new smart plan or restart the smart plan. Because once one ends, if you don't have the repeat or a reminder for yourself to set something else up, they are just going to stop getting things from you. So, okay, so we like the steps. So we're going to add to smart plan, and now, or add smart plan. And now if I go to my smart plans, I can see I've got, the 36 touch. Did I add it? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. We'll do this one. Okay, so now I've got my smart plan here, but I want to edit it. I want to go in here and I want to maybe add some emails. I want to maybe change the text messages because they don't sound like me. So I'm going to, I'll just go back and show you guys. Okay, so my 36 touch campaign, I'll go over here and click edit. And now I've got all the plans right here. So the first thing is to make a phone call. And this is going to tell you what exactly you're going to talk about during that phone call. Okay, that all looks good. So scroll down, send email. This is what the email says. Okay, this doesn't necessarily sound like me, so I'm just going to, you know, go in here, edit whatever information I want to. Maybe I want to put in a hyperlink. You know, maybe I want to, you know, obviously you're going to want to make sure that the signature is changed. You don't want to, you know, Spencer Ward on there as the signature information. So you're just going to go in here, edit the smart plan exactly how you want it to look, click save. And then once you've got that smart plan exactly how you want, you're going to go into contacts. And again, you can add them individually or you can bulk add. So we're just going to bulk add. So let's go to contacts. We're just going to select these 10 here by hitting the select all, go to select bulk action, add to smart plan. And now I've got my 36 touch campaign here. I'll click select and this message is going to come up. I can either start all now. So all smart plans will start immediately, or I can start on the following date, or I can stagger start over the next few days. What I would recommend is there is a smart plan called the quarterly call plan. And I would recommend setting up every single person in your database. If you haven't done anything yet as far as smart plans go, set them up on a quarterly call plan and set them up on the biweekly neighborhood nurture. So they're getting something from you. When you go to set them up on the quarterly call plan, I would recommend staggering over the next few days, because what's going to happen if you set them all up today, you're going to get a reminder tomorrow to call 700 people, which you don't want. That can be a little overwhelming. So you're going to want to stagger them. So let's just say I can only, to start out with, I'm only going to call 10 people a day. That's all I can handle. I'm just starting. 10 people seems doable, right? So we'll go ahead and click 10 people, and then I'll click confirm. And then what's going to happen, if I was on the quarterly call plan, it would remind me to call 10 people every single day. But since we're on the 36 touch plan, this is just going to send to 10 people every day instead of sending to everybody all at once. So you can decide how you want to have the plan, how you want to have the plan dispersed and how you want to have it run. I'm just going to click cancel because I don't want to set those people up on there. Okay, so as far as contacts go, that is pretty much everything. That's a pretty good overview of everything contacts. Does anybody have any questions at all? I know that was a lot of information.
No, it was great. Yeah, I learned a lot.
No questions, Lisa, but every single time I'm on the phone with you, I learn something new.
She's awesome.
Yes.
Good. That means,
thank you.
That means I'm doing my job. I love to hear that you guys, if you get just one thing out of any training, right, that helps you get your business, that helps you grow your business, and even just helps you get one more deal a year. I mean, that's way worth it, right? Pays for itself times 100. So smart views, smart plans, we went over all of that. I just want to see, yeah, interactions is talking about timeline. So yeah, Lori, I'm just going to turn things back over to you. I think that's everything unless anybody else has any questions. All righty. Well, thanks for inviting me and letting me hop onto your Ignite session. And Lori, I'll turn things back over to you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, that was a lot to absorb, huh? But awesome. Just so you know, Command is adding new features all the time. So, okay, you switched it. So they add new features all the time. And Lisa, I'm throwing it back on Lisa. Lisa keeps up on all that. And as you see, there's so many features. I would stick with the basics right now of what Lisa just showed us before you explore a lot of the others. The one thing that I want to tell you, and you have an advantage right now, is really take the time when you do enter those people in your database the first time, put them on these plans. You don't want to have to go back and do it like I'm in the process of doing. I have everyone on the neighborhood search, and on the quarterly, the quarterly reminder to call them. So make sure you do that now. It takes, as you see, it takes time, but you never have to do it again. And that's the power of command. Okay. Well, we are just about to the end. Well, we are to the end here because it's 10:59. But what I want you to do is, if any of you could just name an aha that you got from, this session. Anything new that you learned that you feel is going to be valuable in the next day or so. You didn't learn anything? Nothing? Oh my God, I better do a better job next time.
No, so much. I don't even know. Like, I learned, well, I'm learning every day, but the pumpkin thing's neat. I need to come up with some kind of marketing thing there. I need to set up plans, some smart plans as well. I don't know. There's a lot I've learned.
Yeah, there's a lot, and reach out to me. I just try things all the time. If they don't work, then I don't do them again. So there's no right or wrong way to do things. Contact me. I can tell you different things that I've tried and what's worked and what's not worked. Okay, for me. So that you don't have to go through that yourself. Any other ahas? This is important for us to hear any ahas that you have, so that we want to make sure that we include it in the next class.
I just really like the very well done overview of the command. It was really fast, but I thought it was just great. It was just right to the point, super focused. A lot of the aha moments were just like, wow, command does that. Oh, aha.
Yeah.
I really like the neighborhood nurture smart plan that Lisa, you were talking about. I didn't realize that was something that we could do. I think that's amazing. It just kind of puts that little seed in, like, oh, well, what's going on in my neighborhood? And you can get an overview of that. So that was really cool. And I really like all of the talk about the coming from contribution and adding value, because that's just like what I'm about. And to be honest, when I got into real estate, I was really nervous about like bugging people about like, oh, buy from me, sell from me, because that's not what I'm about. It's like helping people. So I really like that general, coming from contribution and value type culture that we have here. So those were kind of my immediate ahas. It was a lot of information, and there were a lot more, but those are kind of main two.
Okay, thanks for sharing. That's very helpful to us. Just one more thing that I just did. Well, actually, I did it in March or April. Send a text out to to your database, and just ask how they're doing. With the COVID, talk about coming from contribution. I mean, I sent a text out and I said, just hoping, with the situation we're in right now, that you're staying healthy. If there's anything I can do to help you, if you want me to grab groceries or whatever, feel free to reach out to me. Oh my gosh, the comments I got back were just, phenomenal. And it didn't matter if I got any comments back. You're coming from contribution, and that's a really easy way to reach out to them. So, so that's all I have on page 8. It just has, in your manuals, it just has questions like, how has your thinking changed? What do you feel differently about? What was meaningful for you today? How will your behaviors be different going forward? So take the time to fill that out, because every time you have a class, you're going to learn something new. So whatever is fresh on your mind right now, and then you can go back and visit it. Okay. Thank you for hanging in there for 2 hours. And I will be teaching an open house class in the future. So thank you all, and come from contribution.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone. Nice seeing all the familiar faces now that I see.
Yeah, it's nice that I get to see everyone.
Thank you.
Let's have a great day.
Bye, guys.
You too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.